For South Korea, esports is a national pastime. Seoul, South Korea. Top video game players in South Korea are household names. Millions of people tune in to watch game competitions on television. The largest internet site, Naver, has its own section covering the results. Competitive video gaming is now taking off in places like the United States, attracting thousands of people to major events. But in South Korea, more than anywhere else, it has already oozed into the mainstream culture. Couples going to game clubs is about as common as couples going to the movies. The country has also led the world in professional video game competitions, often called esports, creating organized leagues, training well-financed, meaning lots of money, professional teams, and filling giant stadiums with frenzied fans to cheer on their favorite players. So then you stop and you answer the following question, which is to describe gaming culture in South Korea compared to the United States. I would use both this and your warm-up for today. Forward. Such excitement was on display in Seoul on Sunday when more than 40,000 fans filled the outdoor soccer stadium used for the 2002 World Cup semifinal to watch the World Championships for League of Legends, one of the world's most popular games. On stage, 2 teams of the 5 players sat in front of computers with mouse and keyboard to control the fantastical characters in a campaign to destroy the opposing team's base. 3 huge screens displayed the actions. The clear favorite of the excited crowd was Samsung White, a team of Koreans that tore through the playoffs. The thousands of fans erupted early on when Samsung White player wielded a spear to kill a player from the Star Horn Royal Club. A team of 3 Chinese players and 2 Koreans, Samsung White went on to win the championship and $1 million in prize money. Pro gaming exists in its current form and size in large part thanks to the people who made it possible in South Korea, says Manuel, a Dutch pro gamer. Other countries took years to catch up and are at this date trying to mimic or copy some of their success. The ability/reputation of the country's esports players is a point of national pride. Recently, there has even been fear about Samsung White's not winning dominantly enough in an earlier round of the championship tournament, when it lost 1 of 4 games to Team Solo Mid, a North American team. Though gamers and industry insiders have different theories about how esports became so popular in South Korea, nearly all versions start in the late 1990s. At the time, in response to the Asian financial crisis, the South Korean government focused on the internet and technology growth. By 2000, a vibrant community of gamers emerged, largely thanks to PC clubs/cafes that used the new connections. The clubs acted as a sort of neighborhood basketball court where gamers could test their skills. The government also became involved, creating the Korean Esports Association to manage esports. Cheap television stations took off as well, a result of the new infrastructure, and it was only natural that the more would focus on esports. 14 years ago, you had a government that gave the thumbs up to esports. It was professionally organized and it was on television, so it became a mainstream thing, said Jonathan Beals, an esport commentator. The way soccer is around the world. So then you stop, pause this video, and then you answer the question number 2, which is to describe at least 2 reasons esports has become so popular in South Korea. Released by Blizzard Entertainment in 1998, quickly became a mainstay of South Korea's professional gaming leagues. With investment and organized help from Blizzard itself, professional tournaments quickly outgrew the cramped PC bangs. PC bangs are basically cafes or places where high-end PCs, really nice chairs, and like food are served, and people go there to hang out, as we'll read in a second. First moving to the hotel ballrooms and eventually stadiums. In 2004, the final of the StarCraft Pro League attracted 100,000 fans to the Ganwali Beach in the southern beach city of Busan. Sorry for my pronunciation, don't know Korean. The game clubs remain an important arena for gamers. On a recent Thursday night in a residential area of Gangdong in eastern Seoul, a PC bang was filled with high school students. They sat in plush chairs in front of large screen PCs, barking strategies or crying out in joy or frustration. After gunning down a friend with an assault rifle in the game's sudden attack, Kang Mi Keun, 15, said she was at the PC bang for about 5 times a week. I love this game, though I think it's too violent, she said, adding that she comes, including some male friends she does not get to see at her new high school. Bae Song, 18, who stood at a computer bank watching his friends play out a match of League of Legends, struggled to say why he plays games. Playing League of Legends isn't necessarily important for friendship, he says, but it's just a big part of our world. About a decade ago, companies began to see the promise in sponsoring esports stars. Before long, companies like Samsung, the giant technology company, and CJ Games, one of Korea's most successful game developers, were sponsoring teams that lived in communal houses and trained 12 hours a day. So then once again, you stop. What is a PC bang and why is it important to Korean social life? And when you're ready, resume. The cutthroat attitude no doubt helps South Korean teams in major competitions. The country's success at League of Legends has led several Western teams, including the North American team Cloud9 and the European team Fnatic, to visit and see how the teams practice. Many foreign teams have also tried to emulate, which means copy, the group living and training approach used in South Korea, often without the desired results. The obsession of gamers here has also led to concerns about addiction and the potential harm caused by spending too much time playing games. Occasionally, news article reports on a gamer dying of exhaustion in a PC bang after playing for days without rest. A law requires the clubs to force children under 18 to leave after 10 p.m. Jun Byung-hun, a South Korean Nationally Assembled member, one of their politicians, and the head of the country's esports government body, KESPA, said there was still a lot of ignorance from older generations about video gaming. He had pushed for moderation in the drive to regulate gaming, meaning he's like, hey, slow down, stop trying to regulate gaming, things aren't as bad as they seem. Parents view games as distractions from studying, he said, while children see them as an important part of their social existence. Mr. Jun is promoting new educational guidelines that encourage schools to warn children about addiction while also helping parents better understand the gaming. The best way to avoid addiction is for families to play games together, he said. Mr. Jun has also helped push through a number of initiatives to encourage South Korean institutions to treat esports like real sports. Most recently, he helped convince Choyang University, a top Korean college, to admit 2 students based on their success in esports. Days before the League of Legends championships in the hotel near the stadium where Samsung White trained, Cho Sia-hung, the team's leader, once again, sorry about the pronunciations here, said that the pressure he felt from his country's rabid fan base was immense. He hinted that at 20 years old, he was contemplating retirement. Even after winning the championship on Sunday, Mr. Cho apologized for not showing more creativity during the day's event, but talk of changing careers seemed more than distant. He said the team had to get back to work to prepare for future competitions. Asked how he viewed himself, he said, I'm a sports player. All right, and then your final question is you just pick one of these last 2, so answer one of the following questions. Either what issues are there around esports, or what surprised you most about this reading?